Cohen brother movie, except instead of both of them, it's just Ethan Cohen. And I think it's safe to say they probably need each other. I don't know if I've watched many other movies, solo movies from either of them, but if this is the taste of Ethan solo movies, maybe they just need to work together again. Honey Don't was such an exciting movie for me heading into it. I mean, the cast is pretty loaded. You have Chris Evans, uh, Margaret Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, and Charlie Day. So you go into it and you're thinking, "Holy crap! Maybe we got something here." I mean, it's a pretty fun cast. A lot of big actors. Why not be good, right? No, no, unfortunately not. Ethan Cohen manages to make a movie that is so promising, but it doesn't do anything. My review for this movie on Letterboxd is literally just this movie doesn't do anything. It does not do a single thing. Just builds up things and then it just ends. You have the plot with her dad, Margaret Qualley's dad, and it kind of just comes and goes. Like he scares her niece off, and then he meets with Margaret Qualley, and then he just gone. You don't even get anything out of that like conversation they have in the dining room. Um, the relationship with Margaret Qualley's niece and her boyfriend also just comes and goes. I don't get that. I'm glad she beats him up for hitting her. That was a funny scene, but you don't get anything out of that. You don't get any like resolution with the niece. You don't see the boyfriend later. It just kind of happens. The Chris Evans stuff is just so unreal because I feel like that was maybe the best part of the movie as the movie was building up more and more, and nothing happens with that either. You have the drug dealer guy who kills someone out of fear, and then his grandma dies, and then he dies. Nothing really happens there. Chris Evans has like a whole drug cartel as well as a sex cult. That's why I'm wearing a Quagmire shirt, by the way. The sex cult thing. Um, you don't really you don't really get much of that either. So what was the point? What was the point in building all this stuff up and then just not doing anything with it? Chris Evans has a sex cult church. You see him having sex a couple times, and then he dies after having sex. That was cool. Um, Margaret Qualley's relationship with Aubrey Plaza seems pretty interesting. You get a few lesbian sex scenes. You get a fingering scene in a bar, and then Aubrey Plaza turns out to be a Christian who is part of the sex cult, and then she dies. And um, she also captured Margaret Qualley's niece. Any explanation about that? Not really. Just happens. We find out Margaret Qualley gets the niece, sort of. You get a time skip with Margaret Qualley in the hospital, and the niece goes, "I was trying to call you, but it turns out you were in the house with me the entire time." That's cool. Yeah, just nothing happens. What a shame. What a genuine shame. I mean, you have Chris Evans, Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, and Charlie Day. Why not make something good out of it? It really feels like something was here. Maybe if the other Cohen brother was part of this movie would have been an actual movie. Instead, it just feels like an unfinished product, and we don't get anything out of it. Margaret Qualley's kind of cool. She's a good actress, so of course every scene she's in is pretty good. Uh, Same with Aubrey Plaza. I mean, Chris Evans, not even the best actor, but is he cursed? Is he just cursed? Can he only be in bad movies? I feel like he's in the Captain America trilogy, the Avengers movies. He's in Snowpiercer. Can't recall anything else that he's in that's really good. I feel like most other movies I watch of him is pretty garbage. Not that Honey Dote's complete garbage, but nothing happens in this movie. So I can't even call it a movie. I'm just calling it something that exists. It is better than Trust, though. I'll give it that much. It's just such a shame. This was definitely one of the movies as the summer was coming to an end that was higher on my list, and it just didn't do anything for me. I'll say this though, Charlie Day carried the shit out of this movie. Every scene is in. He's hilarious. I mean, I love Charlie Day. Who the hell doesn't? So I'm happy he was good. His character was good. Because nothing fucking happened in this movie, but at least he was consistently good in this movie. Honey Don't. A movie with a stacked cast, decent director, yet nothing happens. I'm giving this a solid 3 out of 10. It's not solid, I guess. I don't know what happened here. You had so much to work with. There was clearly some potential with this movie, but it just never clicked. Uh, can't blame the actors. I think they all did a fine job. Like I said, Charlie Day, my MVP for this movie, but honey, don't see this.